In the beginning, before time carved its path, and before stars traced their endless arcs, the universe was wrapped in silence. Darkness covered the deep, until the voice of God pierced eternity with a single command: let there be light. And from nothing, light exploded into existence, pure, radiant, and alive. God shaped the heavens, stretched out galaxies, and set the sun in its place as a blazing guardian of day. He hung the moon like a silver lamp to watch over the night. The earth formed beneath his hands, clothed in oceans, mountains, and forests rich with life. Rivers danced across the land, birds painted the skies, and creatures of every shape roamed freely. But creation was not yet complete. On the sixth day, in a sacred moment filled with divine intention, God knelt over the dust of the earth and formed mankind with his own hands. He breathed his breath into the man, and Adam opened his eyes to a world overflowing with wonder. He felt the warmth of the sun on his skin, the breeze swirling through the trees, and the presence of God walking beside him. God placed Adam in a paradise called Eden, an expanse of perfect beauty. Crystal clear rivers flowed through lush meadows. Flowers glowed with colors the world has long forgotten, and fruit trees bowed their branches with abundance. At the center stood two extraordinary trees, the tree of life, shimmering with eternal promise, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, its fruit glowing like forbidden fire. Adam tended the garden with joy, naming every creature, from the gentle deer to the mighty lion. They lived in harmony, but even in paradise, God saw something missing. "It is not good for the man to be alone," he said. So God caused Adam to fall into deep sleep. From Adam's side, he crafted a woman, soft yet strong, radiant yet humble. Adam awoke and saw her. His heart stirred in wonder. "This is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh," he said. Her name was Eve. Together, Adam and Eve explored Eden's beauty. They walked hand in hand beneath towering trees, laughed beside sparkling rivers, and lived in perfect peace. No sorrow, no fear, no shame. God himself walked with them in the cool of the day, his presence wrapping them in love. But the peace of Eden would not remain unchallenged. Unseen among the branches lurked a cunning presence, Lucifer, the fallen one, now a serpent. His beauty was twisted, his purpose corrupted. Jealous of humanity's connection with God, he sought to fracture it forever. One quiet afternoon, when the garden shimmered with golden light, Eve wandered near the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Its fruit seemed to glow with an impossible allure. The serpent coiled on a branch above her and whispered softly, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" Eve answered, "We may eat from the trees, but not from this one. God said we must not touch it or eat it, or we will die." The serpent smiled, its voice dripping with deception. "You will not surely die. God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened. You will become like God, knowing good and evil." Eve hesitated. The garden fell silent, as if creation itself held its breath. The fruit glowed brighter. Her curiosity battled with her trust. Finally, she reached out, touched the fruit, and plucked it from the tree. She took a bite. In an instant, something shifted. Her eyes opened to a new kind of awareness, heavy, unfamiliar, and frightening. She turned to Adam and offered him the fruit. Without question, and with a heart tied to hers, Adam ate. A shockwave of darkness rippled across Eden. The wind grew cold. The light dimmed. Innocence dissolved, replaced by shame. Adam and Eve looked at each other and felt exposed for the first time. They hid among the trees, trembling. Then the sound of God's footsteps echoed through the garden. "Adam, where are you?" Adam stepped forward with fear in his voice. "I heard you, and I was afraid because I was naked. So I hid." God's sorrow filled the air. "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to?" Adam pointed at Eve. "The woman you gave me, she gave me the fruit." Eve lowered her head. "The serpent deceived me." Judgment fell. The serpent was cursed to crawl on its belly. Pain entered Eve's world. Hard labor entered Adam's, and the immortal bond between humanity and God was fractured. Then came the moment no heart could bear. God made garments from animal skins and clothed them, a symbol of both loss and mercy. With a heavy heart, he led them out of Eden, the gates closed behind them, guarded by a flaming sword that turned in every direction, preventing humanity from returning to the tree of life. Adam and Eve stepped into a world no longer perfect, one where toil, pain and struggle would define their days. But though they walked away from Eden, God did not abandon them. His promise of redemption followed them into the wilderness. From their descendants would come one who would crush the serpent's head and restore what was lost. Adam took Eve's hand as they took their first steps outside paradise. Though sorrow weighed on them, hope flickered like a distant light. Their story was no longer about perfection. It was now about redemption. And even in exile, God's love remained. Humanity's journey had begun,